Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They are greatly appreciated. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading for the collective. So I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You're not like on your wrong path or making a wrong decision. You just might be working on something different than what's in this reading. This reading is originally created for Tuesday the 30th of June. No, not June. We're already at June. Tuesday the 30th of May. But it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, by all means, if it makes sense to your life or the situation you're going through or whatever you're thinking about or pondering over, by all means, utilize the reading. I do believe readings can be timeless, and they find us when we need them rather than when they were originally created for. So I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which is the Sunday reading that populates in the lower left-hand corner. If you hear me talking about cards that you don't see in this reading, I'm usually referencing back to that reading. So you can check that out at the end of this video. And then for new people, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using currently in the reading, how to find me on social media. If you want to follow me, I'm not the biggest social media poster, I'll be honest, but if you want a private reading, that's how you would get in touch with me to request one, either through Instagram or my Facebook business page. Know that I will never initiate a sale of a private reading to you, like I'll never direct message you to sell you a reading. So if anybody ever were to do that, it's not me. And also, if you like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I put up daily new content, which is daily, or sharing the video out or leaving me a question or comment. All of that stuff greatly helps the channel. All right, so let's see what the cards in Spirit want us to know today. Okay, Knight of Wands. He's a little busy there, crackling with fire all around him. It's funny, yesterday we had the Emperor, which is Aries energy, which is definitely fire energy. And he's always seated, the Emperor, right? Where this Knight was like charging in. And the Knight of Wands oftentimes is associated with the sign of Sagittarius energy, which can be very, excitable, expansive, action-oriented, that sort of a thing. The thing with the Knight of Wands is he is like an impulsive action. He is a jump to action. He is an excitement. The wands can represent what we desire, what we want to move towards, the excitement of the feeling of that. But sometimes the Knight of Wands gets a bad rap because he doesn't have the staying power usually. He has this big burst in the beginning and then jump forth and then like kind of doesn't necessarily follow it through to the end, or that's like his like downside. When I look at this card, I don't know why it feels kind of angry to me. Maybe I needed to wake up a little bit more before doing this reading. I'm like pretty still asleep, but he feels a little bit like he feels determined, but he feels fired up, if that makes sense. No pun intended with the wand suit being here. He feels kind of like, I think it's the flames around the horse's head, that is giving me the sense of like maybe anger or frustration. That could be what drives us today. And it doesn't mean that it drives us in a bad way. Be careful not to be too hot-headed is what I'm going to say. Be careful not to make decisions so much so out of impulse. I mean, yesterday we did have the Emperor. The Emperor is going to be calmer. He's going to be fire, and he can be just as impulsive, but he does things in a more smart way, where the Knight might jump to it a little too quickly, jump to assumptions, or make decisions on the fly that aren't necessarily as thought out as they should be or maybe need to be. And I don't know why I keep getting this sort of anger hit off of this card, because I don't necessarily see the Knight of Wands as an angry card. I think it's just the art in this particular card that's making me feel this way. But if we're making decisions out of frustration or anger, be careful about how we're making them or when we are making them, is my feeling. Oftentimes my readings don't come with warnings per se, but I feel like this is a little bit of a warning reading. Like, don't be so hasty in your decisions that you jump forth, make it, and then regret it later, is the feeling that I'm getting. Let me go to the other cards, and maybe I can clear this up with the clarifiers, because I'm not sure why I'm stuck on that. Oh wow, we have Divine Feminine. She's back. I'm happy to see her. I'm glad that she's come back for a third time before the end of the month. She's probably my favorite card of the deck. Let me just read Divine Feminine to you. I'm tripping on this Knight of Wands. I don't know why. Give me a second here. Divine Feminine is fulfillment. As the breath of the untouched and the bearer of wildernesses, she is the Divine Feminine, eternally in service to everlasting beauty. The sacred polarity between the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine is responsible for the totality of existence and lives within each of us, regardless of how we identify ourselves within our own body. Her role is the unfolding discovery of the heart merged with the purity of her counterpart's ever-evolving wonderment. Divine Feminine is ceremonial and bliss, a consecrated womb of no thing from which all things are born. She is the mystery, the void, the abyss, the ecstatic fulfillment of worlds, and the absolute essence of the universe. Divine Feminine announces that something is ready to be fulfilled. Divine Feminine is the voice that assures you will have everything you need to develop and birth your vision, dreams, and desires. There is no better time than now to declare your resounding yes to the creative endeavor that is calling your name. Balanced is openness to fulfilling divine inspiration and ideas. Imbalanced is stuck in false perceptions of inadequacy or lack. And to bring into balance is begin the creation process, even if you feel frightened. So, if we feel frightened, maybe that's some of this impulsivity of the Knight of Wands, jumping forward, not thinking about it, not getting too caught up in the fear and just taking the action. That could be some of this. My only thing is, Knight of Wands can sometimes, like I said earlier, lack a little bit of that staying power. So we want to make sure that whatever creation we're working on, because if it's coming from our divine creative essence, our divine creative source, we want to see it through. So if the masculine energy we're working with is our Knight of Wands, which is fine. Knights are of service, they're loyal, they're all of those things. Make sure that we don't burn out in the process. It would be my feeling here. Let's look at the clarifiers really quick. We have that Four of Swords again, telling us go inward, clear our mind, get stabilized in our thoughts and what we communicate. We have the Ten of Pentacles, so that we can have the creation that we want coming from the Divine Feminine aspect of within ourselves. And we have the Seven of Swords, a liar, cheater, stealer is in our midst. That Seven of Swords might be some of the anger that I'm getting off of the Knight of Wands. There might be somebody, something, a situation that's not quite telling us the truth, and we may sense it through our Divine Feminine nature, and it's pissing us off. It's making us want to take action. I feel like what we are being told here is to reside in the Divine Feminine nature of who we truly are, be solid in that, take more of a Four of Swords stance where you go more inward, into balance, maybe even quiet down communication, focus on your goals of your Ten of Pentacles, right? Which is that happily sort of ever after, that happiness, everybody's provided for, everyone's taken care of. The thing about this is I feel like, my Divine Feminines here, those that relate to this card, we know about this Seven of Swords. We're not stupid. Wherever someone or something isn't telling us the truth or being, dishonest, I feel like we're aware of it. That's kind of maybe the anger that I'm getting off of the Knight of Wands, is like we want to do something to change it or end it or shut it off or and like attack it in a way. And I don't think we need to do that today. I think the wiser choice is to reside in our own receptivity of the divine feminine and do more of the Four of Swords, which is that inward draw in, pull in. Did we see Four of Swords yesterday? When did we see it? I know we saw it in the big deck too. It was absolutely beautiful. I know we just saw the Four of Swords. It was Sunday's reading? No, wait, hold on, sorry. Oh, it was Sunday's reading, yeah. It's the midweek card. So this Four of Swords is a precursor to where we need to be this week. So don't be making any sort of swift, impulsive decisions that don't serve us. We can make swift, impulsive decisions. If we need to make cuts where we need to make cuts, but make them from a place of compassion rather than from frustration or anger. Think them through a little bit more is my feeling. Keep your eye on the prize, the goal, the ending, the outcome that you want, you desire. Because it feels like it's there for us with the creation energy of divine feminine, and then the Ten of Pentacles there. There's positive outcomes to be had here, even if there's some frustrated feelings or mistruths being thrown about. Here is the grounding stone for today. It is energy. Keep your energy clean, ground in where you're coming from, where you're making your decisions from. If you're making decisions or taking, path choices today, make sure they're coming from a place that's more balanced and clear and clean, and from your true divine feminine nature rather than from a place of frustration, anger, impulse, if that makes sense. It's not to say that the Knight of Wands is a bad card. It's just, to me, it just feels like split second, like fiery anger. And to be aware of that, it's okay to be upset, but don't let that upset sort of steer your decisions today, is the feeling that I want to say, because there's bigger things at hand here than whatever it is we're upset at. And as we grow beyond it, we move ourselves closer to those bigger, better things where we will find that upset will be a thing of the past, if that makes sense. We've got happier outcomes to get to, or to be creating and working towards right now, than the petty stuff that's going on around us. I hope that reading makes sense. All right, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment if this does make sense to you. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful week and take care. Bye-bye.